Alright guys, how's it going this evening? So it's, I guess, a little after 7 o'clock, and yeah, it's raining out. No matter, well, each way you looked at it, if you looked at it through like the 10-day forecast, they weren't saying any bloody rain. You looked at it hour by hour, then they were talking a 95% chance of rain. And at first it was looking kind of like it was going to be kind of a nasty little thing, but I don't know. It just, more or less, it's just a nice gentle rain, which I'm okay with, and we could have used it anyway, because things are getting kind of dry over here, but it kind of puts a damper on their day, you know, even though I got plenty of things I could do here in the shop, but it's just, yeah. So, nice gentle shower is what's going on right now, and I've already mowed my lawn once already, and I'll probably be doing it again pretty quick here too if it rains quite a bit. So, but yeah, I already did I already put the snowblower away now for the year. I'm done painting it. It didn't turn out the greatest here. This is where obviously the drift cutter got pushed back and it dug into the paint really bad. So, and then I had to grind some of the paint off because I had to run and whatever else, right? So, fixed it the best I could. Got some overspray on some stuff. Whatever. The inside of the chute thingy, that's been touched up already, and where the fan sits and whatever. There's some overspray of paint in there, but I don't really give a shit about it. It'll probably wear off. I just snow blow the next year, but I just kind of needed to, I need to get my space back. So, yeah, put the snowblower away. I mowed my yard with the wheel weights on. You can see I took them off now, but I was thinking of maybe leaving them on for the summer, because I figured, you know, we've lost already a good month and a half of summer due to the flooding and late winter. So figured, you know, I'll probably just be putting them damn things back on in another 2 months probably. The way things are going. So, but took them off for now because when I was mowing my place, I just didn't really care for it. You could feel the tractor didn't really care for it. And when I mow, I can mow, you know, a lot faster than I can snow blow. So it just, yeah, I just didn't feel comfortable with it. And plus my tractor's 4-wheel steer, and I don't want to wear out all that steering stuff more by having those heavy wheel weights on them. So took them off and said frick it. So other than that, the snowblower is pretty much done. I already tarped it up, as you can tell, and just put it away. So now I got to put my trailer back, I guess, back in this corner, my little John Deere cart, and maybe we'll have some more freaking room. So, but I wanted to show you guys a little something I picked up. I've been waiting for this. It was supposed to show up Friday, but it never did. They pushed it back to Saturday, and then somehow again on Saturday it didn't get put in the car, or something went wonky there. So I didn't get it until Monday of the following week. It's a little digital volt gauge, I guess you could say, that plugs into your cigarette lighter and lets you keep track of your battery voltage through your cigarette lighter. So, because I didn't really want to like hardwire in a gauge or something. I mean, I could have done that as well, but I kind of just feel like, you know, I don't need nothing too fancy. Plus, those are more money. This cost me about $9 to do. So, I'll get back here a little bit. So here it is right here. This little guy right here. That's it. So I'll turn the key on, and you see it says 12.5 7. That's actually pretty accurate. You can see it went down a tiny bit, but that's because I got that on and whatever else. 12.5. It's slowly going down now, but yeah. See, and if you shut it off, well then give it a few seconds, and then the voltage will jump right back up. So, of course, I got the maintainer plugged in, so it will go back up anyway. But 12.3. But yeah, so that lets me that'll let me keep track of my battery voltage, and it actually is pretty accurate. It's only off by 0.2 or 3 volts. Kind of, it depends on the day, I guess. So, but it's pretty accurate. My uncle has one of those as well. I bought one for Big Red, obviously, like I said, so I can keep track of his battery level, because I'm not going to carry my voltmeter with me all the time, or my multimeter with me all the time, and it's just, yeah, that's not going to pay off. So yeah, I've noticed that when it gets down to about 11 volts and 0.5, whatever, Big Red's no longer happy. He won't really crank on that. He kind of will if you let it sit for a few minutes. Well, probably not even a few minutes. You let it sit, you turn the key off, everything, the voltage will kind of go back up a little bit. And then you do it again. And then it seems to crank. But then once you get down to about 11.1, that's when I will lose power steering and the fans have a hard time coming on. Obviously, because I'm getting to a certain point now where nothing can really survive on that kind of power. So that'd be kind of nice, so I can keep an eye on the voltage, when I'm using Big Red. So, because I always had to either pull out the multimeter, or I just had to put it on the maintainer and then see how long it took for the maintainer to top it off. So I just, this will be a little bit easier. And then I can plug it in or whatever I got to do to charge my battery back up. I usually just use that little maintainer, but it can be a little bit, it's slower. But if the battery was completely dead, I'd probably just use my big battery charger and let it charge for an hour, and then switch over to the little guy. So, but I thought that was kind of neat. So I keep an eye on my voltage and whatever else, right? So, yeah. So what else is kind of going on? Well, not too much, I guess. Just kind of depends on what I want to try to tinker with this cutter bar a little bit. Maybe I haven't touched it yet. So I just threw it there in the corner and walked away, but it needs to be blown off and probably double checked for looseness of stuff and maybe some oil or something. I don't really know. And it just needs to be gone through. I haven't even looked at the book yet. The book has been sitting here on the counter or the workbench. Still letting it kind of air out. I'm sure it's probably all right now, but I've had it covered up because I was painting and I didn't want to get overspray on that. So, but painting's done. Snowblower's, like I said, is done now. So it ain't pretty, but it'll work. So try to do that. I don't know if I'll get to it today or not. And yeah. So yeah, and another thing is I've been having trouble with the chainsaw here. I've been having trouble sharpening the chain because the chain always seemed to like it was either too dull Well, it was always just constantly dull. It never, you know, it just wasn't. It just doesn't seem like it was sharpening very well. So I decided, well, maybe I'll pull out a new round file, and that's what I did here. I got a new one of these. So I got one more yet. This is a brand new one, and I go over each tooth about 15 times. I'll go back. Well, not. I'll just sharpen it 15 times. So I did that, and then the saw sat for a few more days because I didn't have anything to cut because I was busy trying to haul what we've already cut up. But now I got another 2 loads that are ready to be hauled to the tree pile. And I sharpened, like I said, I sharpened it with that new file, and it's made a world of difference with a new doohickey. So she still doesn't really throw big chunks out, but that might be the type of wood maybe I'm cutting. I don't know. So, but yeah, I thought I heard just a bird talking, I guess. But yeah, I sharpened the chain with a new file, and I cut everything up I wanted to cut within just a few minutes. It was going through everything like a hot knife through butter. It was she definitely did good, so no complaining there. But I got to figure out what's going on in the fuel tank. I think my fuel line went hard and doesn't sink to the bottom of the tank anymore. It just sits about halfway, and then that's all I get out of it. So I don't know. I think my fuel line is getting hard now, so I need to either replace it, or I'm not really sure how you're going to replace it. I don't know if you have to replace the whole damn tank or what. I'm not really too sure. So probably could use a new fuel line on there, and it probably would be all right. I mean, that's been in there since new, whatever else. And the round file that I've been using, the first one was the very first one I had for when I bought the saw brand new with its original chain. So that file was probably getting wore out. That's what I'm guessing. It's just because it wasn't I looked at them side by side, and I really couldn't see any wear on it. But when I pulled out the new one and I sharpened this chain, with the new one, it did pretty good. So with the old one, it wouldn't sharpen it with a crap. So, but I guess after a couple of years or something, I don't know, maybe those files get wore down to the point where they just don't do anything anymore. But even though it looks perfectly fine, but I don't know. It's a car alarm's going off. But yeah, it's definitely a very interesting thing. But like I said, I got a couple loads now. I got a haul. So we were gardening. I took a couple days off from that because I just wanted to get shit done here in the shop, and I wanted to haul that other load of trees that I had. I finally cleaned up that first load, but then I ended up making another big pile, which I think is about 2 loads there. So I got to do that, and then I think there's a tree down in the field along the tree line, but I haven't gotten that close to it yet because it's still tacky. The water's no longer there. The water is in the tree line now. I mean, it's in there, 15 feet or so now. So the water has gone down quite a bit. It's no longer on that 12-acre piece, the new hayfield. The water's not there anymore. It's still sopping wet, but it's not on it anymore, which is a good thing. So, but I think there's like I said, I'm not sure if it's a tree or just a really big branch, but it's kind of laying on the north side there along the tree lines by the bridge there, and I just got to cut it up and get rid of it. So I got to look at it and see what it is. If it's just a branch, maybe I can just shove it back if it's part of a tree, we don't have to cut it off, but because it is sticking out into the hayfield a little bit, and that's all, we don't need to go around another thing. So I just need to get rid of it, but I'm waiting for the ground to firm up a little bit more yet. It's still a little too tacky. All this mud here was from today's ride. Because it all looks dry kind of now, but figure it's getting dirty because of that. But I wanted to get out quick, one-on-one, because, well, before the rain, started coming, I wanted to get out and check the river, and I wanted to put up another no trespassing sign. I still got 2 more, but those are the ones that were underwater. The one by the bridge is still underwater. That's on a post, but the one that's to the south, it's not underwater anymore, but I can't get to it because the ground's too muddy. So it'll probably be at least another couple of weeks before I can even get out there. So, and there'll probably be another 2 weeks, 3 weeks before I'm even getting to the one down by the bridge. So, because that's still underwater. But whatever, if it's underwater, then ain't got to worry about nobody trespassing, I guess. So, but I mean, it is what it is, right? So, but yeah, so because I wanted to get another sign up, so it's just one less thing to deal with and go for my ride and whatever else. So, but yeah, like I said, there isn't really too much going on. I just want to try to get into this mower here a little bit. I don't know if I'll get to it today or not, because the damn thing's so stinking heavy. It's hard to move it around by hand, but I guess you could manage, I guess. But I don't know. Kind of just is what it is. So, but yeah. But I'm not going to complain too much about this rain because we kind of did need it. I'm happy with these kind of rains that we get, where it's just a nice gentle rain. It's enough to dampen the top. I think there's a little bit more than a dampness, but because it came down there pretty good, but yet my floater's not floating in the rain gauge, and if it is, it ain't floating much. So I guess I'll just check it on my way in if I remember, but I imagine it's not floating. Sometimes the floater likes to get stuck too because there's too much debris in the bottom, but I don't know, I cleaned it out before putting it up, so I don't know. But there probably just wasn't that much rain to make it float, but whatever. What are you going to do, right? So, but yeah, other than that, just want to give you guys a little bit of an update to what's going on. The river's down quite a bit now. It's still in the woods, but it's getting down there, and that's all that matters. So, and I haven't started the green truck yet, the International. I got a fuel leak, and it's the gas tank. I think it's got a pinhole leak in it on the bottom somewhere, because I checked, because just a couple of months ago I topped it off because I noticed it was low. So I topped it off a couple of months ago. I came back just a couple of days ago, checked it again. I was like, well, it's not in the filler neck anymore. And then I just happened to kind of, it's like, okay, well, either somebody's stealing my gas, which I kind of highly doubt, or I got a leak. So I kind of just glanced down underneath there, where the tank sits at. And sure enough, you can see it in the grass. There's a dead spot. It's all brown. You put your hand in it, you sniff it, it's gas, you can smell it. You can see it. You can see the bracket that supports the tank. It's got a drip hanging off of it, So she's leaking, and it's going to leak all my gas out eventually. I might maybe put a ice cream pail or something under it to maybe try to catch some of it, but I haven't done it yet today because they were talking rain, and I figured, well, rain's just going to get into it, and it's going to ruin it. So if I know that we're going to get a good stretch of no rain, maybe I'll throw it underneath there then or something. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to be playing with that truck too much this year. It's just, well, like everything else, it needs a lot of parts, which is understandable because it's an old truck, but I don't have the money for it right now, and I got other things that are obviously that are priority over that. So I haven't even started it yet this year. I probably should, but I don't know when I'll get to it. I don't know. It's not on my priority list to get it done. So, we know it runs, but I want to keep it running so that it doesn't try to like get stuck again, So I don't want to go through that trouble again of having to deal with a stuck engine. So even if it just runs for an hour once a year or something, I guess it's better than nothing, but I don't know. It wasn't leaking last year, so I'm not really sure what the hell's going on. But it could have also been like maybe there was some rust building up because the tank did sit dry for a lot of years. I was thinking maybe some rust was forming, and now it was getting soaked, and the gasoline just kept getting it softer and softer, and then it just fell out, and now it's got a leak. So it's not pouring it out, but it's a good steady drip. So if I didn't do anything with it, it probably would be empty. By I don't know, middle of summer or even the end of summer, it would probably be empty by then. So there's really only two options you can do with that. Is you can either buy a whole new tank, which probably good luck finding one, or just throw a stupid liner in it, like a liquid liner, and then you just shake the tank around, and then that builds a hard layer on it, and then you just let it harden, and then there you go. So that might be my project for next year. I don't know. It's just the water pump is that needs attention too, but I just can't do everything. So I don't know. Kind of just is what it is, and plus we kind of need the little tractor more, the little A. We need that thing way more than the grain truck, so I think kind of the little tractor even takes priority over that. That was supposed to be the thing that we got running, was the little tractor. That was the main thing I wanted to get going. The grain truck wasn't even on the radar, but I mean it was, but it wasn't. It wasn't like, oh, I want to do it this year, let's do it. I was thinking like 5-10 years down the road, we'll deal with the grain truck once we get the little tractor up and running, get all those bugs worked out of it, and then you'd be good. But then the tractor engine was so stuck that, it just, we had a hard time figuring out what was wrong with it. It's like, well, we got to pull the head, so that was the year that I pulled the head off it. And I mean, it sat for, 3 years, and we were just soaking it with diesel fuel and transmission oil because that's what we thought was the problem. Come to find out, I think it was a more of an internal problem, but we never really figured out what it was. So I don't know. So, but yeah, I mean, the grain truck wasn't even on the to-do list for that year. It was 5-10 years maybe down the road or something. Like when we got the little tractor dialed in enough, we don't have to really worry about it. So, but then the tractor, we figured, oh, well, this is going to be way worse than we thought. It's going to need way more attention. So then I figured, well, while I'm waiting for the tractor to see if the tractor would come to life, I figured, well, maybe I'll try the grain truck. And that was stuck, but that was a real simple job, though, to get it unstuck. I mean, again, I just soaked it in a 50-50 mix of transmission oil and diesel fuel, and it sat for, a week, if that, and it started coming free. I was like, okay, well, it's a runner then. I think I figured, oh, the grain truck probably wants to run. It doesn't want to die. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's good to have both things moving, but they still need a lot of attention. And I can't do both. I can't do everything in 1 year, and not when I have other things that are breaking down and causing problems. So, get the Tahoe thing figured out, get that done, and then I gotta either get the plumber guy down here to fix my pipe, or, which should happen, and then, then Big Red. So, I don't know. It's kind of just frustrating, but I'm not going to call the plumber guy until the fall time, because if I do it now, and I'm kind of got that funny feeling that pipe is underneath my air conditioning unit, and I don't really want to move that, because I'm going to have to regardless, but I'm afraid that if I move it now, I could break something, and then I end up going all summer without an air conditioner, and I don't want that to happen. Even though my air conditioner is very old, it still works, and one wrong move could snap something important, and then then I can't get it fixed right away. So I'm not going to break multiple things and I can't fix it. So it can just stay the way. If we move it in the fall time and something breaks, okay, then it's not really that big of a deal, because we're not going to need the air conditioner in the fall time or in the winter months. So then it can just stay broken all winter and we'll fix it in spring. So moving it now, it's not really going to be an option, because I don't want to risk breaking something. I will just let it go for a couple of months, and then we will, yeah. So we'll just do it. We'll just one thing at a time. So, but it's an unfortunate thing, but what are you gonna do, right? So, but I don't know. It's kind of just the way it is, I guess. So, but like I said, there's not much to really talk about because there ain't much going on. So, really, the only thing that's left to do now is, we got to finish gardening. We were going to do something today, but then we found out this rain was coming, and figured, well, it's going to be muddy, so we're not going to do any of that. There's no sense of mudding and stuff when it could just sit in it a couple days, dry out some more, and then seed. And the way we seed, we only really just do one row a day. One big row, and then it's good enough. So, but whatever. We're not in that much of a big hurry anyway. But you still got to get it in regardless. But I gotta try to get a couple more rows in next week. This week coming up. So, well, probably could get another row in this week if we don't get any more rain. It's probably going to take a day or two to even dry out, so then by then it'll be the end of the week. So if we can get one more row in this week, will be good, but if we can get maybe one or two more in next week, that would be pretty good too. So, whatever. It is what it is, right? So, we'll just deal with it, I guess. So, but yeah, other than that, I guess that's pretty much it. I'm going to do some rearranging in here. I want to push this over there now and get it out of my way, so I don't have to keep bumping into this thing all the time. And then, yeah. Stinking rain. What are you going to do, right? Dude, we did need it though. The only thing I'm not happy about is it's going to make my fucking grass grow now. It's already been growing, but I'll be cutting it again, I bet you, by the weekend. It's looking like it, so I gotta fix my my power wire fell down for my security light. I guess I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I guess I could just fucking staple the stupid thing up. I got staples. I just keep tucking it up there, and it just keeps pulling it right back down again. So I guess I have to staple it. So, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, so people have been seeding over here. They've been getting their crops in. Not everybody's going, but most are pretty much going. And road construction has started. It started a few days ago. I finally found out what they were doing. They're going. The highway that goes to my bank is closed. One, because they're going to put in new culverts all the way from one end to the other. And they're going to repave the road as well. I suppose because they think their big trucks are going to tear it up. Or maybe it's just because it's due. I don't know. But the roads on the North Dakota side are way worse than ours. But I guess that's because Minnesota actually maintains their roads. North Dakota doesn't really give a shit. So, I don't know. There's definitely some areas that could use some attention over there on North Dakota side. But that's their problem. So. But whatever. I didn't think the roads were that bad here, but I suppose they're going to tear them up with the trucks or something, so they figured might want to just replace it all and be done with it. But yeah, it's going to be kind of inconvenient because you got to take different routes, and some routes I'm not familiar with, but I guess that's what the signs are for. But I hate reading signs. I don't like reading them. So, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's what's going on. Nice big boring update. There isn't really much to talk about. So, if I would do another flood update, I suppose next week sometime, try to remember, but, it's pretty much go time with everything else, so I gotta try to get done with that, and whatever else, so. But yeah, anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off. I want to get some things done in here again. Like I said, I want to move this stupid thing, get it out of my way finally, because it's been sitting there for like, I don't know, a month probably. Go put it over here in the corner and get it out of my way at least, so. But yeah, anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off, so I guess have a good day and stuff, so yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.